What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Fire Emblem Friday. So today, my plan is to at least get to where we can enter the Deliverance Hideout. I'm not sure if we're going to start exploring the Deliverance Hideout just yet. That'll sort of come down to time. I'm trying to keep I want to keep this video shorter than some of my other ones have been, just because I feel it's a bit more accessible to have more shorter parts of a series than it is to have a bunch of hour-long episodes. So, not sure how we'll work out with time getting through these first two fights, but depending on how long that takes, we'll probably at least start exploring the Deliverance Hideout and get into the Milla Idol, I think they're called? I'm suddenly blanking on what those things are called. Like, Milla Shrine, that's it, I think. I'm sure we'll probably figure out if I'm wrong pretty quickly, but whatever. So, let's just jump straight into it. Oh, before we do, though, I altered some of the inventory of our units. I gave Claire the Iron Lance because I feel that the extra attack will really help her out. She's got pretty good speed compared to most of our other units, but her attack is somewhat lacking, so I gave her the Iron Lance to try to help with that a bit. I also gave pretty much everyone just a provision just in case they get low on health and Faye and Silk can't keep them topped off. But that probably won't happen too much, but it might be useful to have them able to use the provisions mid-fight in the Deliverance Hideout once we get there. Alright, so this map, if I remember right, is basically just an open plain with a bunch of soldiers that are going to rush us, and then a cavalier to charge us from the other side of the map. Okay, so we don't have any other sword users, which is a bit unfortunate, because at this point we really want Om to use the lightning sword, just because that way he can take out most of these soldiers pretty easily. Their speed is 3 compared to his of 4 after the lightning sword's weight, so he'll be able to double most of them. Actually, all of them, I think. What's this cavalier's speed? Okay, no, so the cavalier would double him, but considering that most of these units have really bad resistance at 0, the lightning sword should be able to one-shot pretty much the entire enemy group. We can actually use some nice swap strats here in order to get all our units, or in order to get Alm closer and be in range of that forest, I think. So we're just going to save and jump right into it. Alright, so I think if I counted the spaces correctly, I should be able to use swap on cliff and... I forgot the terrain cost of forests. Whatever. We'll just leave Alm here. That's a bit disappointing, but no matter.
Just leave it to me.
And then I feel like we can have Lucas and Gray tank as well, although Gray is actually slightly out of range. And then we do want to get Claire some EXP here, because Claire is pretty good in my opinion, but she takes a while to get going. Her bases start kind of low compared to the others, at least in my opinion. And I think she starts as a level 1, when in order to promote to a Falcon Knight, I think she needs to be level 11 or 12 or something. It's a bit ridiculous in my opinion, but whatever, I suppose. Okay, so now we can have Alm take position in this forest, so that way he's even more durable, and he can just use the lightning sword's range to take out the soldier. So thanks to the lightning sword, this fight is relatively easy overall. We do want to be careful though, because we don't want anyone to die carelessly. Let's see here. I can have Lucas and... Here, how much damage does Claire do to this archer? Okay, that's enough damage, so if I get Tobin to weaken the archer. There's one hit? Come on, we just need to hit the second one. And not die. I do it. That's also pretty high on my to-do list. Okay, so with that down, we do want to be careful though, because Claire would probably get attacked by a lot of units doing this. But if we go from down there instead, we can have a bit more cover. Here, I'll put Lucas here to sort of help block off some of that side, and then I'll have Claire attack here. Plus, absolute worst case, we do still have the turn wheel, so I don't think I've used that yet in this playthrough. Or at least, Yeah, no, I don't think I've used it, but if we need it, it's there. And then I'm going to put Faye in the center and have her use Recover on Claire. That way we get Claire to have some more health back. It makes it so she's got full health to probably take half of the enemy phase's attacks. I'm almost hesitant to weaken some of these enemies because if we make it so Claire can kill all the units that attack her, wow, that's a pretty good growth, Cliff. I wasn't expecting to see that. Anyway, if we make it so that Claire can kill off multiple of the units that she fights, then she'll have to take more attacks, which is obviously not ideal if you're not a very bulky unit. Alright, but we got the hit with Silk, which is pretty nice, and then I think Gray can finish off this soldier. That way, at most, I think 3 can attack him. Oh, wow. Why do we keep getting 4% crits? I swear we got a lot of them in our last episode of our Echoes playthrough, and there were definitely tons of them back in our Fates randomized series.
Thanks, lady.
Actually, that was not as good a growth, but no matter. Oh, that's right, they're gonna go after Silk, and this could hurt a lot. Oh no, if she misses Nosferatu, I think she's dead. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna turn wheel at the end of the enemy phase, because I don't want to lose Silk.
My spirit is yours again.
I didn't quite think through how much damage Silk would take here.
Safe from harm.
Yeah, so that's not good. Let's at least see how Claire does in her attacks. Oh, and then they go after Lucas. Weird. I would have thought they would continue going after Claire. Although I suppose they did block off their own attack. So yeah, let's use the turn wheel. So now it's just giving me the little tutorial, but I've already beaten the game on one file, so I already know how this works. Okay, so let's go back. This is probably good. I just want to make sure I'm able to make a different move with Silk this time. So let's use Fire on this soldier here. Get some damage. Ideally, we'll still get the same level up. Yep, cool.
Not the only
That's
force at play here.
And then
The mother walks with me.
let's have Silk actually heal Tobin instead, just to get her out of range. Okay, that still leaves her in range, but if I put Gray here, then that'll block off their attack, meaning we'll be fine. So let's do that then. Okay, so we don't get the kill on this soldier, but we do protect Silk. But now I'm a bit worried about Claire, so I guess let's just see what happens. Okay, so they're going after Tobin. That's not that surprising. That's part of why I healed him, but we'll be fine. So, we'll take a bit of damage there. Here, just gonna try to mess with my audio settings a bit here. There, I think that'll be good. So yeah, I don't quite understand why they're going after Lucas, considering Lucas is one of the tankier units we have. I mean, Gray is about equally tanky, but still. If only he didn't have 5 defense, that probably would have been a kill. But because he had 5 defense, that only does 15 damage. Alright, so now comes the tricky part, because we basically have to hunt them down before they get back to their supplies, otherwise they'll heal. So I guess let's start by having Gray take out this soldier here. Nice.
We're done.
Hopefully this will be a different level up than it was earlier. No, it looks like the same.
Smiles on me. Thanks, lady.
At least attack is pretty useful. It'll make it so he does more damage. I mean, obviously, but it's still a good stat to have. And then Cliff should have no problem taking out this guy. Yep, there we go. And then with that, we should be able to deal with the rest of these guys pretty easily. So let's have Alm, I guess. I don't want to give too much EXP to Alm, though. That's the thing. Here, let's use White Magic to heal up Tobin here so that he's back to higher health. And then, let's see. Here, how much damage can Tobin do to these guys? He can get this one down to 6. Here, first things first, let's have Faye heal Claire again. Because Claire is now pretty low. And then, what else can we do? So we can have Lucas... Okay, so let's do this. Let's have Lucas badly damage the boss. Ideally not get a crit. Just so that then we can give Claire the EXP from the boss kill. Oh, and Lucas gets a level from that. That's nice. What level is he now? 5, okay.
A palpable improvement.
Yeah, I would have liked to see you get some defense, though. Because we're going to want your defense stat to be higher. Alright. So then from here, I guess let's have... Oop, I mashed through that a bit more quickly than I meant to, but whatever. That'll work, I suppose. I'm pretty sure Faye, unlike... Yeah, Faye's defense is a lot higher than Silk's, and she's got more health. So I feel like she can survive a hit from one of these soldiers. So let's have All move over this way and deal some damage, taking out that soldier. And then we'll have Claire rotate up here to... Actually, no, we'll have him stay here to make sure Cliff doesn't get killed. So we'll have Faye... not Faye. Claire use her lance to take out this guy. Alright. And then that just leaves one weakened soldier and a cavalier. And I'm guessing this soldier's AI is... Actually, he's pretty healthy, so never mind. Oh dear, here we go again. Come on, Silk. Hit, hit, hit. Yes, okay, we're fine. We're fine. That's all we needed. Nosferatu is so overpowered. That's all we needed. Okay, so Alm's going to take a bit of damage here. 4 to be exact, but that doesn't really matter when he's able to do most of this Cavalier's health in one hit. And then let's have Claire come up and... she just barely can't get the kill. So, nope. No, no, no. Don't button mash. That doesn't work. Okay, so let's have Tobin attack from afar to whittle this guy down a bit further. And then we're going to have Claire go in for the kill. Because as I said, we want to get Claire a lot of EXP because she takes a lot of EXP and levels in order to be able to promote. Also, we want her to promote, ideally, probably best case by the end of Act 3, or just so that we can have her as a Falcon Knight for Fear Mountain, and for definitely for Endgame, and as we approach that, because the Falcon Knight class gets a skill called Banish, and so what that does is it gives them plus 10 attack against terrors, which is really, really strong and really useful on Claire because her base attack is not very good. So then, by getting a large buff to her attack against terrors, which show up somewhat frequently as you get into Endgame, it's pretty useful to have. Admittedly, they don't show up nearly as often as, say, the Risen did back in Awakening. Practically every near Endgame chapter was Risen back then, but they do show up a fair amount. Let's see, I think I want to have... I guess let's get Alma level. He can't promote until, I want to say it's Act 4 in Celica's route. Yeah, it is Act 4, because then Celica has an event with an NPC that then gives Alm the ability to promote.
I'm getting stronger.
Yep, but unfortunately you won't be able to promote until quite some time. But you're overpowered enough anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Hey, can the next fight be less painful?
Oh, shut up, Gray, you're fine. Alright, so that makes it so Faye, Silk, and Tobin are all pretty close to leveling up. Good to know. Oh, this is where we meet... Yup, you.
Claire, you're safe.
Oh, good day, Fernand. And what brings you here?
The only reason I don't hate Fernand completely is because I know how he reacts near the end of the game. He sort of has a change of heart, realizes a mistake or two that he's made, although to be fair, it's not really until he's basically dead.
They're not rabble, Fernand. This boy is Alm. He is the grandson of Sir Myson himself.
Myson's grandson? Lucas, I demand to know the meaning of this. You were ordered to find the general himself, not some mewling child.
Yeah, Fernand is a jerk, and unfortunately the player does not get the ability to kill them.
his
or to
friends
kill
have
him,
joined our cause
that
instead.
that gets taken by a
Is this
character
some
we'll
manner of
meet
folly to you,
not
Lucas?
too
Am I to be amused?
long from now.
Such base-born curs cannot possibly aid our cause. The Deliverance has no place for brats with pitchforks. Fernand.
Oh, if only I could recruit you, and then I could give you the villager's pitchfork item and make you eat your words.
For us. In fact, without Alm, we might not have retaken the southern outpost. I can vouch for their strength.
As if the word of a backwater noble carries weight with me. Your entire house should be kissing the Knights of Sophia's feet.
I think that's enough. You can say whatever nasty things about me you like. I'll get over it. But Lucas deserves your respect.
I beg your pardon. Do I look like a man who listens to the opinions of peasants?
Then you can listen to me, because I happen to agree with him. Fernand, my brother already explained this to you, did he not?
Sir Clive, what exactly did he explain?
A soldier's worth is not determined by the station of his birth. If we do not all fight together as one, then we will never defeat Desay. Those are wise words. Unforgettable words. Desay's forces already have us at heel. Yet you would splinter us further?
You there, boy.
That's me, I take it?
Out of respect for Sir Clive, I will permit you to join the Deliverance. But you will learn your place.
Yeah, Fernand, I don't think it's really your choice as to whether or not we join the Deliverance, considering pretty soon we'll end up leading the Deliverance.
I will do no such thing. I'm going with Alm.
Very well. Do as you please.
Wow, what a jerk!
Yep.
I've never met someone so rude. I guess we've been spoiled by Lucas. He nearly convinced me that swinish knights are the exception, not the rule. But that was a swine, all right.
You poor dears must be so upset. I apologize for the way he treated you.
Don't be silly. You don't have to lower yourself for a miserable human being like that.
Oh my.
Oh, great. Here we go. What? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, regardless, please don't think ill of Fernand.
Yeah, too
He
late.
wasn't always like this. The world changed him.
True, true.
Something happened to him?
Yeah,
We
something.
live
You could
in
say that.
trying times, and some things that transpire are difficult to put into words. In any case, we should be on our way.
So I will say this, because I don't really consider it to be a spoiler, considering you learn it at the Deliverance HQ, which were one map fight and a dungeon away from getting to. Fernand's family was basically killed in an uprising by the peasants, as he put it, of the area over which his family ruled. And so as a result, he completely hates peasants and the common people. So he does have his reasons for doing so, or for hating people, of course, but that doesn't make him any less of a jerk, in my opinion. Like, I don't... no, never mind. I thought there was some character that said some in Awakening or Fates or something that said something along those lines, or along the lines of this, but I was gonna say that just because a few of them turned against you, you shouldn't believe that everyone is like that. But I can't actually remember if any character said that or if I'm just being completely crazy. This map, if I remember, is just a bunch of cavaliers rushing us. Yeah, so it's 6 cavaliers total, I think. If we look at this, yeah, so it's just the 6 cavaliers. It's not that difficult to beat this one, but you do want to be careful to try to take out the ones that'll attack you from the left before the ones that are up on the, up on the top left side of the map, before they can rush down and get you. Fortunately, they only have one little bridge to go across, so if you can take out the cavaliers over... If you can take out the cavaliers over here, you can pretty easily force the cavaliers from the top of the map into a sort of bottleneck and get them to go down pretty easily. Alright, so Nope, I do not want to exit. I meant to click save, and I don't know why I pressed the B button. In any case, let's just jump right into it.
I've got this.
Okay, so
Allow me.
first off, we're just going to get all our units over towards this side. We might even want to send our 2 soldiers up towards the bridge from the start, because with only 2 cavaliers here, Alm and Claire should be able to take them out pretty easily. Alm himself can already do most of their health in 1 hit, assuming they have roughly the same stats as we encountered last time, which most of the units you'll encounter at this stage in the game have pretty similar stats. Yeah, so it looks like they take 13 damage, they have 1 more speed than Alm. Yeah, it's the same cavalier, I think. So we're gonna have Alm get in close, we'll get Claire ready to back him up, and from there we'll just get our soldiers close as well, and... oh, shoot. It's early game, so I think it is worth turn-wheeling just to undo using that provision. I always do that, just misclick and end up wasting an item. I'm still not quite used to how this game's menus work. Oh, actually, I don't know if Alm gained defense. I don't remember what level he got, or what stats he got with his level up in the last fight, but it definitely seems like they're doing less damage to him now, which is useful. Okay, so from here we should be able to have Claire take out one of them and have Alm or Cliff or basically anyone take out the other one. Well, okay, I shouldn't say basically anyone because I don't think everyone is in range. But yeah, that's some nice EXP for Claire. Then we'll start having our soldiers work their way up to the north of the map, just so that we can try to cut them off before they get to us. Or so we can cut off the other cavaliers before they reach us, I should say. And then, oh, wow, that's unfortunate. Just 2 little damage. Let's see, can Cliff? Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have Faye use Nosferatu. Best case, we hit this attack, and don't crit. Yep, like that. And that way, Cliff does have enough damage to get this kill. I'm just trying not to give Alm too many kills here, because unlike Corin in Fates, you need a bit more of a balanced army in this game. And frankly, from how my Fates playthrough turned out, I probably should have been a bit more careful about balancing my units then, too. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is have Cliff give Lucas the leather shield so that he's got extra defense. And then we'll just get in position to attack these guys as they come at us on the bridge. Because as long as they stay on the bridge, there's only 1 or 2 of them that can attack at on a single turn. As a result, we can deal with them pretty easily. Lucas won't take very much damage. I'm pretty sure we've got Silk up there as well. And we'll just be able to pick them off with our ranged units and have Claire go in from, or slip around over the river and take care of them. But yeah, not that surprisingly, the boss comes at us first, but because we gave Lucas the shield, he now only takes 1 damage. And that's just because of, in this game, a unit that would take 0 damage in combat still takes 1 damage regardless. Alright, let's see. We don't want to put anyone in too much danger here, so let's see. What do we want to do? I think we're going to have... Here, how much damage did Lucas do? 7. Okay, so... Oops, that was not the unit I meant to attack. Whatever, it'll work. We won't do enough damage to him that his AI will change to go back to the supplies, I think. Let's see, that'll deal 10 damage, and oops. Jeez, I'm just bad at menuing today. So Alm should be able to take out most of this cavalier's health, and I think we're gonna have Claire go in to take out the boss again. Just because, if you haven't played much Fire Emblem or didn't notice this, boss units give a lot more EXP than a regular unit would. So because that was the boss of this fight, Claire got more EXP than she would have had she taken out just one of the other cavaliers. Okay, so that unfortunately opens her up to some attack, but in exchange for that, we can start fighting our way across this bridge here. So not Lucas, sorry. Gray will deal some damage, but not quite enough to get the kill. However, we can still get that kill if we play this right. So, unfortunately, Lucas can't really do anything this turn, so we'll just get him out of the way. But Gray, or not Gray. Jeez, I can't get people's names right in this chapter. Wow. Okay, yeah, I am going to turn wheel that, because that was a 90% chance. And frankly, I doubt we're going to need the turn wheel for anything else this chapter. Or map, I should say.
Just say the word.
So now that we've done something else, that just changes how the game's RNG works, and now we get the kill. So with that, we now got Gray, jeez, I cannot get names right today. We got Cliff a bit more EXP, and then we'll just have Silk heal Alm just to get some free EXP for her, and patch up Alm in case he has to fight anyone. And because Gray is blocking the other tile, only one of these cavaliers can attack Claire. It's a bit unfortunate that we missed the second attack there, but whatever. Oh, and Gray gets a crit. I need to figure out if there's a killer lance in this game, because I don't actually know if there is. I know there is Ramphia, I think it's pronounced, the evolved weapon you can get from, or the weapon you can get by evolving a Rider's Bane. But I don't know if it's, or I don't know if there's like a dedicated killer lance in the way that or in the way that the Brave Sword is effectively an older killer sword, because or Killing Edge, I should say. Sorry, forgot that for the sword weapons it's the different naming.
Nothing will stop me.
All right, so I'm not liking that hit rate that Claire has there. So let's try to have. Oh wow, Tobin's hit is even worse. Let's try to have Tobin hit one of these attacks to make it a bit easier, but I doubt we will. Yeah, no, I wasn't really expecting to hit that. Oh well, 1 EXP is still good. Not really, but it's something. I think we might have to give it to Alm or Cliff. But let's try having Claire get this kill. There's one hit. Come on, can you hit a second time, please? Nope. Alright, so that's fine. We'll just have Cliff get the kill then. I was hoping to give Claire a bit more EXP, but because magic ignores terrain effects, it makes it pretty easy for Cliff to take out that cavalier on the forest.
They never stood a chance.
Yeah, they really didn't in this fight. It was pretty easy. It's only a few cavaliers, and it's not that difficult.
Deliverance's hideout is just a stone's throw away now. I'll send a messenger ahead to inform Sir Clive of our arrival. Let us make haste. I'm sure he'll be quite eager to meet you.
Alright, so looking at the time, it's been about a half hour since I started this episode. I guess we can at least start exploring the Deliverance hideout.
Not so fast. Where do you think you're going? Don't you know whose halls this is?
Huh? But I thought this was the...
That's enough, Python. There's no call to play a trickery with our new recruits.
Lucas, you ginger stud. You still draw breath. I was worried Desai's dogs might have punched your ticket to the boneyard. So this sack of guts here must be Sir Grandson.
Yes, he's the one. Is Sir Clive about?
Yep, better shake your tail feathers. He's been waiting for you. Oh, hey, kid. I almost forgot.
Huh? What is it?
Terrors roam these halls. You'd best tread carefully.
Terrors? What are monsters like those doing in your hideout?
Well, to be fair, they technically got here first. We're just sort of borrowing their catacombs. Plus, terrors spawn in greater numbers the closer you get to Milla's power. Counting them down only makes room for new ones, so we just let them be. Why the long face, stud? Don't think you can handle a few creepy crawlies? Because if not, I don't know how you're planning to fight for the Deliverance. I'm just japing you. Get going, yeah? Oh, and hold your nose. Terrors stink.
Great. Their hideout is guarded by an army of the dead.
Well, at least it's guarded at all. Like, sure, Illistal had... Or, Actually, I think Fates is a better example. The hideout that you get in Fates, like the My Castle that you can customize and explore between chapters, basically the only reason that's safe is because it's in like a pocket dimension. I mean, sure, it is technically a castle, and you can defend it using your units, but it doesn't really have any like set defenses unless you build them. So, I guess let's just save to be safe in case something goes horribly, horribly wrong as we explore a tomb of the dead that just so happens to be the hideout of basically a liberation army.
These sprawling catacombs were built as a resting place for Zophia's most distinguished families. But now, their halls are clogged with the stench of the dead. Rotten corpses have risen again as terrors.
Alright, so as we explore this dungeon, or basically any dungeon, as long as there's not a bunch of enemies near that you don't want to bother fighting, it's usually best to try to break all of the different breakables, because you can get free provisions, free silver marks, although you only get like one unless it's the Duma Tower sections that we'll get to much later.
Stand back.
Alright, but it looks like we've got a support between Tobin and Cliff to watch.
Hey, Cliff, what's new? Are you kidding? I thought I told you. Yeah, no small talk. Guess I forgot. Or else you're doing it on purpose to get under my skin.
Yeah, probably that.
I really can't stand when you do that. Yeesh. Do you want to talk about it? Maybe need a hug?
I have to say, I really like the interactions between the various villagers. I should probably say this as well. In dungeons, the enemies you encounter, the majority of enemies you encounter, I should say, because there are a few exceptions in certain locations in certain dungeons. Enemies you encounter, the same attack that you use to break items on the field, like the different barrels and crates I've been breaking, can be used on enemies, and if you hit that, it starts the fight with your units closer to the enemies, as well as with the enemies at lower health. So against terrors, which usually have a lot of health to begin with, even though their other stats aren't usually that good in the early game, it's nice to have the bit of free damage against them, even though it's not very much. Alright, so we'll have Lucas come up. Let's actually have it so he blocks the path of a few more of these. Just trying to position him, even though it probably won't do much, so that he can block off some of the attacks against Tobin, but as I expected, it doesn't really help. However, it does look like Cliff can do a fair bit of damage with his magic, which is not very surprising. If we look at the stats of these guys, they have 1 defense, 0 resistance, and 1 skill and speed, as well as 0 luck. Basically, the only advantage that at least the Revenant class of Terrors has is that they have a lot of base HP, and that there's
Just leave it to me.
and that a lot of them tend to have why can't I think of words?
There you are, Om.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just completely lost where I was going with that.
I'm doing just fine now. Seeing your face is always a bright spot in my day.
Well, I'm glad it's not a low point.
Now, shall I head back out there and slay more of your enemies for you?
Yeah, Faye
Enemies for me?
is debatably creepy in these supports.
I would hope you're doing it for a better reason than just me.
Oh, is that what you want? Because I'll do it. I'll fight for any cause you desire. Just promise you'll be watching, Om. Promise to look at me.
Faye, look, just please be careful, alright?
So yeah, Faye is kind of creepy in her, I suppose you would call it devotion to Alm. But it is also kind of an interesting bit of her character. Although it is one of the few defining traits of her character that I've seen, although, to be fair, I haven't worked to, like, fill out all the support trees completely, so I might be missing some supports that I don't even know about.
My mother walks with me.
Alright,
Nothing will stop me.
here, I'm pretty sure Alm can do... Yeah, Alm does 30 damage to these guys, assuming he hits both attacks. So let's have Alm cripple one of these guys, and we'll have Claire go in for the kill. So yeah, with a 98% chance to hit, it would be ridiculous if we missed both of these attacks.
I know. I'm simply terrible.
I could probably do the mental math to figure it out, but no real point. Whatever. Point is, it would have been highly, highly unlikely we missed both attacks, and at that amount of health that he had left, one attack was all we needed to get the kill. And so Cliff gets another level. I think he promotes at, I want to say level 12 or 11 or so. Ooh, Cliff got Thunder. That's going to be useful. So Thunder is a bit different than Fire. It's got a greater HP cost. It's got 1 extra point of might. It's got 2 extra points of weight. And 10 less hit, but it can attack at 3 range, which makes it useful for trying to attack. Say you've got an enemy with a javelin that you need to kill. Say one of the barons or generals, or I shouldn't say generals, there is no general class in this game of which I'm aware. Say you're fighting a mage without thunder, or you're fighting a terror with a javelin or something. Having the ability to attack at 3 range is really useful. And especially once, much later in the game, you can get an item called the Mage Ring, I think it is, that has this effect. It gives you... I don't even remember what the skill is called. It gives whoever has it equipped a skill that raises the range of their black magic, making it so that Fire would go 1 to 4 range and Thunder would go 1 to 5. Really useful for... Oh, jeez. I keep forgetting that he's not a sniper because I'm so used to having him as a sniper. But we should be able to give Tobin this kill and maybe get him to promote pretty soon. Actually, I didn't pay attention to what level he was in that second or so I saw his thing. So, anyway. But yeah, so with that fight done, there's a lot more fights like that in these dungeons. I'll probably try to avoid a few of them for now, just in the interest of getting through the dungeon. But I know there's a few chests in this dungeon that I want to get to. Like, I think it's behind this wall there's a chest. Yep. I don't remember. Oh, jeez. Okay. Jump scared a bit by that, honestly. Just didn't notice the terror was there until it was already doing, like, the audio cue and attacking me. That's a bit pathetic. Anyway. So, now let's just... At the moment, we are not in range to go in and attack, so we'll just get our units closer so that we can... go in when they get here. Plus, Lucas will be able to do a decent chunk of damage for basically free, because his leather shield, in conjunction with his already high defense, makes it so he takes no damage. Well, 1 damage, but at the moment that's insignificant. Let's use Fire to try to finish off this terror here. Nice, nice. Now, let's actually check what level Tobin is. Oh, he's only level 3. Yeah, no, he's not promoting for a while. So that could actually be a slight problem unless I do some level grinding, because that means he's probably not going to be a sniper by the time we get to, Zofia Castle. It's not critical that he's a sniper, but it does make taking out some of the enemies easier. Although I do definitely need to get Silk to have the warp spell before we move on. I don't remember when she learns it. I'm hoping it's level 3, though, because if it is, we are basically about to get it. Come on, hit again. Yes! Nice.
The mother favors me. I feel sharp today. Aware. More focused.
Ah, darn, it's not level 3. In that case, we're gonna probably want to do a bit of... Or I'll probably do either a bit of grinding that I'll, like, speed up and include at the start of our next episode, or maybe I'll just do it off-screen if it's not really of any consequence besides levels. But we are going to want to get Silk to have Warp to make our lives much easier. Again, it's not necessary, it's not absolutely critical. Like, the level isn't unbeatable if you don't have Warp, but it makes things a lot more simple. Because with Warp, you can send here, it'll be easier to explain in our next episode when we attack Sophia Castle, but with Warp, it just becomes a lot easier to deal with some of the enemies, and it also makes getting Alm into a position we want him in a lot easier. Because next episode is when we get Alm's only chance to get, I suppose you could say it's a free Draco Shield, but it's not really free. You have to fight your way through to get, or you have to fight pretty carefully and strategically in order to put yourself in a position to get it. But once you do, it makes it so you don't need to collect the Dragon Scale items that you can forge later in the game into new Draco Shields. So it's basically the easiest way to get the Draco Shield that I'm aware of, even though defeating a bunch of Necro Dragons is actually easier than taking on Desai, in my opinion. At least once you get to late game. It's still so heavily based in the game's RNG as to whether or not you get the item drop you need. And frankly, I don't trust this game's RNG at all, so I would prefer to avoid that. Iron Bow. Here's what we were waiting for. So now we can give Tobin the Iron Bow instead of the Steel Bow. It's slightly weaker, but its hit is 10 greater, and its weight is 1 less, which won't kill his speed stat as much, even though it won't give him as much attack. And it'll give him, I think it's a bit more accuracy than the base bow, but I don't know. In any case, glad we finally got the Iron Bow, because a forged Iron Bow... so in this game you can get the 3 Regalia. I don't actually know what game they're originally from. I want to say it's either the original Fire Emblem or maybe Mystery of the Emblem, and then of course Shadow Dragon and... Oh dear, that's 2 terrors there. Not sure how they got to us, but that could be a slight problem. Anyway, I'm not sure what game they're from exactly, but you can get Partia in this game. I think it's by forging... I want to say it's a Blessed Bow you can forge to then get Partia. And I'm pretty sure I'm not pronouncing that... Oh, God, I cannot talk. I'm pretty sure I'm not pronouncing that right, but I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced. Anyway, you can get the Regalia, you can get Partia, and a forged Iron Bow is actually better than Partia, in my opinion, because it has a better hit rate.
Hello, Claire.
And just what are you guffawing at? Such behavior is unspeakably boorish.
Sorry, very sorry. It's just, who says salutations on a battlefield?
Well, but I say it. Oh, very well. How would our fearless leader have me greet him instead?
I'm not criticizing the way you speak, Claire. In fact, I like that about you.
You do?
Yeah, so Claire also has a crush on Alm. If you can also learn that from Fire Emblem Heroes if you've gotten the luck to get Claire at some point. I could go on a whole rant about Fire Emblem Heroes just because I really find the way its summoning works and the way you get new heroes to be really broken and bad in my opinion. But that's for another time. For now, let's just continue fighting terrors. Oh, we got a crit. That's actually going to be the kill immediately then. Oh, no, it's not an instant kill. I didn't pay attention to how much damage we would do there. But it was enough damage to then kill pretty much immediately. Oh, I should probably mention this now as well, since I was about to use Cliff to attack, and I'll be using him again in just a second. So, all magic in this game has a health cost, except Nosferatu, which has a health cost of 0. I mean, I suppose that's technically a health cost, but that's not the point. And so, with that health cost, stronger spells generally have higher costs, and if you don't have enough health left to pay the health cost and not kill yourself in the process, you can't cast the spell. So we'll be using that mechanic. I feel like I might have mentioned this in an episode or 2 ago, but just if you're dropping into the series now, you should probably go watch the other videos in the series then. They're just on the channel page and in the Fire Emblem Fridays playlist we've got on the channel. It'll put much of what we're doing into context. Anyway, we'll be using that mechanic later on in order to make recruiting a certain unit a lot easier. And it makes it simpler to deal with some mages, because some of the mages as you progress have really powerful spells, but these spells have like 5 health costs, so if you can get them low on... Oh, no, we do not want to have... we don't want to send our healers into fight just yet. Anyway, if you weaken an enemy mage to the point where they can no longer afford to pay the health cost, they can't cast a spell. And so for enemy mages, which usually only have 1 or 2 spells in their spell list, that can be absolutely crippling. It can force them to either just use fire or even be unable to attack at all, depending on what mage it is and what spell they have. Alright, so enemy phase for these fights is pretty simple. They just charge you and try to kill you. It looks like Gray as a soldier is actually working pretty well, which I'm glad about. I wasn't really, I guess I didn't really have that high of hopes for him, even though the Baron class is decent. I don't know, I find the Dreadfighter class to be too strong to pass up super easily, and I don't know now if I can get another Dreadfighter. I don't think Alm gets any units that start as mercenaries in his route, although his villagers can promote to basically any class. So I don't think we'll be able to get a villager, or sorry, not a villager, a mercenary and thus a Dreadfighter, unless we use the villager's pitchfork from the DLC. Which I probably will end up doing eventually, but not yet, obviously. Ooh, a crit.
Oh, very good.
Alright, so let's have Alm attack this terror, because we don't really need him to get that much EXP, considering he's already pretty strong. So then let's have... I guess we'll have Silk try to get this kill. 60% chance, we should be able to hit 1, like that.
I will say words for you.
And so then that actually puts her at 57 EXP. That's closer to a level than I expected her to get in this episode. Excuse me. I also really like the action cameras it does when you get the kills on units. Alright. So, I'm probably going to not explore this dungeon as much as I normally would, just in the interest of time, because we're starting to get up to the 50-minute mark, and I was hoping to get to the Milla Idol, or Shrine, or... I still can't remember what they're actually called. I suppose it doesn't really matter. So the nice thing is, while you're in a dungeon, you can actually run, and depending on how you use this, you can avoid some enemies that you otherwise would have to fight. And so by running past those two, I was able to get to the door that then allows me to double back and get back to the entrance a lot easier. Ooh, broken wall. I think there might be a chest in this room as well. Nope. Okay. I know there's another chest somewhere in here, I think. Is it maybe in here? Nope. Here, I do want to find that other chest, but then after that I'll probably just proceed. Nope, not in there either. I actually don't remember what room it's in. I'm pretty sure it's on this side, maybe? I'm guessing it's behind this broken wall. Yep, there it is. But I'm guessing there's a terror in here that's gonna attack us. Yep, this one here. Alright, so last fight of the episode, I'm guessing, because I should be able to run around and avoid most other enemies to get to the Milla Idol pretty quickly. And then that'll start a whole story thing, and then after that we'll probably just end the episode, because I don't think we've got anyone that can promote right now. And then I can save we'll save the Sacred Spring uses until next episode. Alright, I'm actually surprised Faye hit both of those attacks, but it works for me, because now Gray should be able to get this kill. Oh, especially if he gets another low percent chance crit. Alright, so that works.
You're pretty tough.
Stand back.
Alright, let's see. I want to build supports that Tobin has, so let's just, I guess attack near Cliff so that we can build up that support more. The only good thing about getting the bad level ups that you're basically guaranteed to get in this game is the character's reactions to it. Ooh, another 8% chance crit in the same fight. Alright, how much XP does Silk need? Let's see, 1 defense against 6 attack, we outspeed. Yeah, that'll work. Just do it. I just did a quick bit of mental math. So Silk is able to not get doubled by these terrors, and additionally, only takes 5 damage to begin with, which is not fantastic because for Silk, who has very low base HP, that's not very good, but at the same time, if she hits with Nosferatu, she gets it all back pretty much immediately. That's the overpowered thing about Nosferatu, it just heals you up for any damage you took, and especially with Silk, she ends up being a pretty good anti-mage unit, just because Nosferatu, although it doesn't have that much attack, heals her up for any damage that the mage would have done. Alright, so let's try to have Silk do some more work here. Although I think we're going to have Faye deal a bit of chip damage first. I want to build up the support between Faye and Silk, because they'll end up... they're my 2 healers at the moment. We will eventually get a 3rd, but that's not until, I want to say, it's Act 4. So, in the meantime, getting our healers to have support is going to be pretty useful. Here, I guess... I know that Silk and Faye have a support, so... Here, we just need to hit both attacks, which probably won't happen, yeah. Yeah, like I said, we're not gonna hit both attacks. Yeah, that's the only bad thing about Nosferatu, it's terrible accuracy. and then it doesn't have that much might, but considering that it heals you for all the damage you deal, it's worth it. Alright. And so now we're able to get the chest that I actually don't remember the contents of.
They never stood a chance.
And now Cliff is also 1 fight away from leveling up. So let's just hit this chest. Oh, it's a silver purse. Okay. So that's just 20 silver marks. Not much, but once we get to a smithy in Act 3, it'll be useful. So yeah, for now let's just head on up to the Mila Shrine and watch the bit of story that happens there.
Claire!
Brother!
It gladdens me to see you safe. I couldn't bear to lose you, on top of everything else we have sacrificed.
You look so pale, Clive. Forgive me. You must have been worried sick. But
Sure, that's it. Not living in a zombie-infested tomb.
And you must be Alm. I've been looking forward to this meeting.
Yes, sir.
Please, be at ease. Such formalities are not required here. You saved the life of my dear sister. This makes you a friend. My name is Clive, and as you must already know, I lead the Deliverance. It's good to meet you all.
Likewise, Clive.
I can't believe it. That's the Clive, in the flesh and everything.
What? Is he famous or something?
Tobin, I am sorely disappointed in you. Sir Clive captains the Knights of Zofia. He's the finest knight in all the realm.
Seriously, man, read a book. Okay, he's clearly a big deal.
But then why is the finest knight in all the realm losing the war? Well, he's obviously... he... Shut up, Tobin.
Best line in the entire first act, in my opinion, right there.
Not well, I fear. We lost many good men when the outpost fell. Too many. The morale of our troops has taken an ill turn in kind. I was hoping to present Sir Myson to them to reignite their courage, but...
Please, don't judge my grandfather. I know he had his reasons, even if I don't know what they are. But I promise you that I'll fight every bit as hard as he would have, or harder. I just don't want you to think that... he's not...
Peace, Alm. I understand. None here would dare think your grandfather craven. That being said, I would beg a boon of you. The same one I was hoping to ask of Sir Myson, in fact.
Please, go on. If it's within my power, I'll do it.
Then I shall state it plain. I would like you to become the new leader of the Deliverance.
Yep.
What? I mean, what? I'm not a leader?
Clive, have you taken leave of your senses? This needs to happen, Fernand. You know it as well as I. It's true the Deliverance began as a group of like-minded Zophian knights, but it's grown into an army where most of our volunteers are of common birth. We share a cause, but little else. I know not how to speak to their hearts. Sir Myson began as a common soldier before rising to a knight and a count. His story resonates with these people. Do you not agree that his grandson is just the banner they would rally to?
What fool would agree with that? If some ungrateful peasant won't heed your command, you sweep him aside.
Think, Fernand. Are we so flush with soldiers that we can afford to drive able men away?
Yeah, Clive is completely right here, and Fernand is a bit of a jerk.
It's a fine idea.
You too?
Knights don't have a monopoly on skill, and Alm is as able a fighter as any. Clive has done all he can to hold the Deliverance together thus far. But if our ship is astray, then we must chart a new course. Alm is that course.
I'll rip that traitorous tongue from your throat!
Then you'll finally have the truth in your grasp. I lost friends at the southern outpost. Veteran men, yet dead all the same. We must adapt so we might end this war as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, we still need to push on, and although to be fair, I suppose it really only does take 3 acts for this war to end, because Act 2 is pretty much entirely
The
Celica.
lieutenants and I would continue to handle day-to-day affairs. We only need you to do one thing. Lead. You would be inspiring the troops and revitalizing the army.
And throwing yourself in at the front of the battle.
I know you to be capable of such.
I'm not so sure.
Please, for me, for all of us. My brother tries to hide it, but I know the anxiety takes a toll on him. You can relieve him of at least a portion of that burden.
I want to, but... All right. If you think me worthy, then I won't let you down.
Are you certain? Then thank you, Alm. Thank you.
Just, please, keep your expectations low.
As you wish.
This could change everything.
Well, it'll certainly
The plan
change
will make a
what's about to
splendid
happen.
leader. Simply splendid.
Without a doubt.
And there it is.
I've heard enough of this idiocy.
Fernand, what?
I only joined this damned army because you were leading it. And now you want me to take orders from some wretched farm child?
This is no mere farm child, Fernand. He has Sir Myson's blood.
Myson? Ha! Damn him and his blood. They may sing of him as a hero, but no one even knows what wench the man sprang from. His entire story is a disgrace to the Zophian nobility. You need to invoke the name of that old man to control your men? Pathetic. Enough! I lost my taste for this long ago. We were supposed to be a band of noble knights, united in purpose, upholding a tradition, restoring the old order to Sophia. Now, the Deliverance is full of base-born serfs trying to lord over us. Like your Lieutenant Forsyth, or that Python, true to his name he is.
Yeah, we'll recruit him later,
Themselves
next
on the
episode.
battlefield time and again. Are you suggesting I deny my men fair reward for their achievements? What incentive would they have then? The damned army wouldn't function. Hear me, Fernand. Hear me well. I know you have your reasons for closing your heart to the common folk. But please, for the sake of our ideals, you must think beyond them.
No, Clive. I will not. I would rather die than kneel to some whelp who was birthed in a hay. Today, we part ways for good and all. I am finished with you and your Deliverance. Farewell.
Fernand, wait!
Clive, shouldn't we go after him?
No. I knew this was coming. We've had no shortage of clashes lately. I cannot force him to see things as I do. So, well, perhaps it's better this way.
Clive, I know it's not much in the way of comfort, but I'll do my best.
Thank you, Alm. We shall march on Zofia Castle just as soon as you feel we are prepared. I suppose you must still have many questions about the Deliverance. Feel free to ask around to any of the soldiers here.
Alright, so with that, we get Clive. We can talk to Forsyth, and we'll deal with that next episode in order to recruit him, and we can also recruit Python on our way out. But Clive is actually... Well, okay, I don't like his bases very much, and I don't think he scales very well. But he starts one level away from being able to promote to a paladin, and he starts with a steel lance, which is pretty strong. So, he'll definitely have his use early on. And also, so much... excuse me. So much for trying to keep this video short. We're already at an hour. So, anyway, that's going to be it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to leave a like, comment, let me know what you thought. Let me know what other shenanigans you'd like to see me try. Let me know what you've thought so far of E3 and the various presentations. I haven't been paying that much attention to what's happened at E3 lately. I've mainly had other things to deal with, and truthfully don't care that much about Microsoft's presentation, just because I haven't really gotten into Xbox lately anymore. But from what I've seen of Nintendo, they've got some pretty cool looking games coming up. So let me know what you guys think is the best game that's been announced so far at E3. I believe it's wrapping up today or tomorrow. I truthfully don't know exactly where it ends, but most of the E3 stuff should be done by now. So just let me know what you guys have thought of E3 so far, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good day.